Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review. This is a film that was requested, and I know I don't do a lot of requests, and that's mainly because literally, for example, in the past month I've gotten about 40 requests. That's not an exaggeration, and there's just so many requests that it's so overwhelming. It's just, I'm sorry guys, I have about 100 movies that I want to get to that I own, that I want to watch or rewatch or review, so one day down the road. Once in a while, once in a while, I'll do a request. Like Captain America 2, that one I'll wait for DVD. The Raid 2, it's nowhere in theaters around here. And I'm not watching the shitty cam, so I'll wait for DVD on that as well. But anyway, this was a request, The Wolf of Wall Street. 2013 film directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Matthew McConaughey, sort of a small role. This is a film that I don't really know how to review it because definitely a film that wasn't expecting based on the trailer. People won't be pissed at me by saying this, but the best way to put it, what Michael Bay did for bodybuilding and Pain and Gain, Martin Scorsese sort of does the same thing with Wall Street and Wolf of Wall Street. Only, Martin Scorsese has a little bit more finesse than Michael Bay. But that's what I mean. They're both based on true stories. But it's made, not only is the story, but the film is made in a larger-than-life, sort of over-the-top fashion. And yeah, people will be pissed. I could say I probably like Pain and Gain more than this. That's mainly due to the fact that this film is fucking 3 hours long, which I'm like, that's one thing I gotta say negative about this film. This film, on one hand, I got interested in the film more than I thought I would, considering it's a 3-hour movie. But at the same time, it is a 3-hour movie, and sometimes it's like, okay, this is a bit too much, or this is a bit too long. I don't mean scenes being too long. I mean, like, just the movie's like, okay. It's 3 hours. It's a damn long movie. 3 hours. But it is a crazy movie. I mean, it starts off with Leonardo DiCaprio and some guy taking little people, throwing them into this bullseye. And like in the first 5-10 minutes, Leonardo DiCaprio was getting a blowjob while driving a car. And I swear he's like sticking something in a woman's ass and it's like coke. And I swear he's blowing it into her ass. And I'm like, he's not sniffing. It looks like he's blowing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then he's in like a helicopter. He's fine, but he's fucked up, so he fucks up the helicopter. I'm like, okay, this is only like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, this isn't your typical Martin Scorsese film. Not by a long shot. I think that's why it made him interesting to me, because I'm like, okay, what's going to happen next? Then it starts with him, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, being younger. Wants to be a stockbroker. Meets Matthew McConaughey. That scene in the trailer where, Matthew McConaughey's pounding his chest. That comes in a bit later. But Matthew McConaughey's only in, like, the first little beginning of this movie. I thought he was actually going to be in the rest of the film, but I guess not. Cause I know it's based on a true story, but the way it looked in the trailer is like he was going to be in it more. But pretty much Matthew McConaughey is telling him that there's two things. Sex and drugs, pretty much. Telling him that you need to jerk off a lot, you need to do cocaine. And then when Leonardo DiCaprio gets hired here, pretty much that business gets fucked up by the stock market, and he's out of a job, and he gets into another business, finds a new job. Then later on meets Jonah Hill, and he goes, so, hey, you're in my building, so how much did you pay? About $70,000 last month. Yeah, you show me a pay stub, and I quit today and work for you. And of course, Leo does, and Jonah Hill does. And I thought Jonah Hill interesting because he's a character who had like really big teeth. Just the way he talked, I thought Jonah Hill did a nice job, and Leonardo DiCaprio I thought did a nice job. They're not really people that you like, but at the same time, I like their energy. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, it's one of those movies that I thought, God, the longer this movie goes, the more it's like, what the hell is going on with this? But yeah, you pretty much they get people to create. You get a few other people so they can create their own company. And I'm an idiot when it comes to the stock market. So like, what's going on? What's happening with it? I don't know. But what it does is he takes people's money and then keeps recirculating it, and of course it's fraud and stuff like that. But the thing with this movie, it's always going. Like, I swear, there's not one scene. In a 3-hour movie, there's like, count one scene in your hand that lasts longer than 2 minutes or so. Like the scene with Matthew McConaughey and Leonardo DiCaprio, where Matthew McConaughey's doing this. There's a scene where Leo's talking to this FBI guy on a yacht. Pretty much every scene, though, is like just cut. Okay, now we've gone to here. Now we've gone to here. Now we have Leonardo DiCaprio talking to the camera. Then we have narration. Then we have, oh shit, we're doing good, so let's shave this woman's hair off. Then they have like a fucking band come in with barely any clothes, and then you have like half-naked women coming in. And then throughout the film, you got shitloads of orgies. There's an orgy on a plane. There's an orgy in hotel rooms. There's a guy getting blown in the elevator. And then Leonardo DiCaprio talked about how there's 3 types of hookers. And there's like references because I think like Rob Reiner or someone else was watching The Equalizer, and Rob Reiner plays Leonardo DiCaprio's dad, which I thought was cool. It was cool to see Rob Reiner. I thought he was pretty good in it. And the Rob Reiner is watching The Equalizer because the film takes place the late 80s into the 90s. And then there's also a reference to Freaks, where they're one of us, one of us. I'm like, wow, they're referencing some stuff. And about how after this blowjob in elevator, Leonardo DiCaprio said this is a fuck-free zone. And about how him and Jonah Hill double-teamed this girl. And that it's like, okay, it goes back to that throwing little people in the bullseye, and they're doing a contrast. Like, they're talking about these little people like they were things. Something about, get a tranquilizer just in case one of it gets out of control. And but if you don't consider it a human, then it's okay. I don't know, the way they're doing it is a little bit chuckle-worthy. And the fact that they're doing it with such energy, it's like, Jesus Christ, what's going to happen next? Like, I mean, there's so many tits and ass and orgies and drugs and drugs and more drugs. There's probably more of that than Scarface. And granted, Scarface is a much better movie, but damn. And you have songs like Cypress Hill's Insane in the Membrane, and getting Jonah Hill to take this Quaalude and a slow-mo, and just the way it's done, I can't. This is a hard movie to describe because it's not really a plot, just showing this guy's time where it's like going from orgy to in the room selling stocks, and even that's done with just a crazy out over the top. It's like, okay, all this shit really happened? Or are they really, really piling it on? Kind of like when you watch Pain and Gain, like, did this really happen? Or are they really, really piling it on? Again, I would say I prefer Pain and Gain because I thought it was paced. It's not a 3-hour movie, so it's paced a bit better. Then you have he has his wife, but then he has an affair with this woman, and then divorces the wife to be with this woman, and then they have a gay butler, and then the gay butler has a gay orgy, which they find out about, and then the money's stolen, and one of them is beating up this gay butler guy and already to put his ass over the building. He gets married to that girl before it has an orgy on a plane, and you have buys her this big ass boat. See, that's what I mean. You have scenes like buys this big ass boat. The best way to describe this film: two scenes. Leonardo DiCaprio shows his new wife this boat, and then it cuts to inside where you have the guy who talks about the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Oh, caviar dreams, like that guy. You have him, his voice narrating the inside of it for like 30 seconds, and then cuts to Leonardo DiCaprio and his woman. And another scene where Jonah Hill has given Leo DiCaprio these was it lemon 714 pills. They're supposed to be really heavy duty drugs. They take one, it doesn't work. They take a couple, and then really fucks up Leonardo DiCaprio so he can barely move. He's got to get in his car and go back. And when he gets there, him and Jonah Hill have a fight. Jonah Hill, he's feeling the effects too, and he's eating some ham or something. He's choking. Shit you not. Leonardo DiCaprio looks on the TV, and on the TV is playing fucking Popeye. And Popeye with the spinach, like tastes the spinach and gets super. He sees his friend choking, so he gets a stash of cocaine, sniffs the whole thing, and throughout this, it keeps coming back to Popeye. And you're hearing like the Popeye music, which is handled better than I'm explaining it. And then he's helping Jonah Hill and gets the ham out of the guy's throat. And there's a lot of crazy shit happening. To explain everything that happens in this film, it is 3 hours. There's a lot of stuff that happens. Again, it's almost like a scene. One scene happens, and like, how much crazier is going to get? And pretty much showing his rise and fall, because I'll just skip to the end where this guy played by Kyle Chandler, who was in Super 8 and he's in other stuff. He's an FBI guy. Something's up. Tells Leonardo DiCaprio has to wear a wire. He does. By this time, he's gotten divorced. His kid's been taken away. He wears a wire, but then he leaves a note to Jonah Hill saying, "Don't incriminate yourself." The FBI finds that note. Everyone pretty much gets pinched. He has to help out, and then he gets like 3 years, and is in like one of those soft prisons because he's playing tennis and shit. And then at the end of the film, you find out that he's in New Zealand doing seminars about selling. That's one thing. At the end, I think they should have done is show like what happened to these characters. Like even if you can't say their real names, like what happened to Leonardo DiCaprio's wife and kid? What happened to Jonah Hill's character? What happens to some of these other people's characters? Once in a while, you get like someone like he bitches, oh yeah, 2 years later he died of a heart attack. But like, what happened to Jonah Hill's character without me having to look it up? What happened to Leonardo DiCaprio's wife and daughter? What happened to these other people? I think they could have done that at the end. If you don't make a 3 hour, I mean, I think that's one thing they could have done. But yeah, this film was better than I thought it'd be. I mean, I would still say it's a one watch because it's a 3 hour movie, and when you have a 3 hour movie, it's hard. Those are hard movies to rewatch over and over again, unless it's like one of your favorites. Like Aliens, the director's cut. It's a long movie, but I love Aliens to death, so I can rewatch that film. And there's other films like that too. But Wolf of Wall Street, I will say, I think it's worth a watch. It's better than I thought the trailer led it to believe. It's definitely, I think, Martin Scorsese's sort of. This is a film that I swear, if I would never have known that Martin Scorsese directed this. Because it's definitely not like Goodfellas. I mean, I'll be honest, I think this is more like Michael Bay's Pain and Gain than Goodfellas. Just how the crazy over-the-top stuff. I really say that. I mean, I said that, but I really mean that. I know people may be pissed, but I really do feel that way. And that kind of made it a bit interesting. And I thought Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill and the rest of the cast did a good job. Matthew McConaughey, again, he's only in a tiny role. I know it's based on a true story, because so if it didn't happen, obviously they can't film it. But I'm surprised that the guy didn't go back to get Matthew McConaughey's character to be in his new sort of business. But again, if it didn't happen in real life, they can't. But again, you look at all this other shit. I'm like, did all this other shit really happen? God damn, maybe so. I mean, just really crazy. But yeah, I thought it was energetic. It was energetic. It seemed like, I didn't count on one hand how many scenes last more than 2 minutes. Because it's always going, and shitload of sex and shitload of drugs, and it's all done in a. None of it's really dark either. Like, it's more of the. How do I put it? None of it's really dark. None of it's really, the effects of drugs and the effects of sex and, really serious. It's all. I don't want to say fun and games, but in a way I do. I didn't kind of like Pain and Gain. It was kind of like, you have crazy shit happening, but it's all the certain fun and games vibe. I don't know how else to put it. It had that energy where it never really got depressing, dark, or ultra, super serious. It really didn't. And again, it's like, Martin Scorsese did this? Like, usually, this is definitely not a Martin Scorsese film I've ever seen before like this. I mean, again, if you didn't tell me he directed this, I never would have thought it. It is a long film, though. That's my biggest gripe on it. But other than that, I think it's an energetic film. It's a film that a lot of shit happens. It's nice to see Rob Reiner again. Jon Favreau has a small role in it. Matthew McConaughey has a small role in it. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio did good. I liked Jonah Hill in it. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty... Again, I don't think it's as good as Pain and Gain, my personal opinion. But I liked it. I didn't say I liked it. I was surprised by that. And it'll take a little while to watch it, but I liked it. I thought, man, this is a crazy movie. And I think it's worth one watch. If you don't like the film, you don't like the film. But for one watch, I'm like, this wasn't that bad. I thought it was... Had a lot of... I don't know if style is the right word, but I want to say like style and energy, and again, it always seemed like something was happening. It always seemed like something was going on, and it just... I didn't understand why this film almost got a NC-17. But anyway, thanks for watching. I know this got nominated for a few awards. I don't think it won any, though. At least Oscars. It got nominated for a couple Oscars. It didn't win any, I don't think. I know it didn't win Best Picture. It didn't win Best Actor. It didn't win Best Supporting Actor. It didn't win Best Director. Didn't win... yeah, I don't think it won anything. But, yeah, I liked it overall. I liked it. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.